Hey guys, JackFrags here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks for vehicles in Battlefield 1. In any Battlefield game, vehicles always play a pivotal role, and that is especially the case in Battlefield 1. Tanks in particular can be brutal killing machines, and even horses have a big part to play in the flow of the battle. It's important to know how to use them and in what situations to back off and live to fight another day. Tanks, for example, you should know by now how dangerous a good tanker can be. It's a valuable asset and one that should be used with care and precision. Even still, tanks are vulnerable in the right situations, and more so now after tanks took a small nerf since the beta. It's as important as ever to play it safe and smart. When you're in a tank, it's important to use both the first and third person cameras. If you're heading into a populated area, or really any time that you aren't aiming, I would suggest using third person. You can switch camera on PC with the C button, and on Xbox or PS4 you just press the right thumbstick in. So imagine that you're heading into an urban built up area. If you stay in first person, you just don't have the field of view to spot enemies around you, especially if they're hiding. You also can more easily spot enemies that are trying to, say, damage you from behind with dynamite if you're in third person and always scanning around. If I want to take a shot, then I would head into first person for a more accurate shot and then instantly go back to third person to ensure that I've got a good view of what's around me. Sometimes though, things happen so fast that you'll just stick to third person and try and take down some enemies. That's fine, but just bear in mind that in third person you're not always as accurate as you are in first person, so use that whenever possible. You should also get used to switching positions when you're in vehicles if you need to as well. Either in a tank or perhaps a transport vehicle, maybe you'll need to hop into the gunner's seat to get a quick kill or defend yourself from a different angle. You can use the F keys on PC to switch between all of the seats in the vehicles. On PS4 it's X, and on Xbox One it's A. In a heavy tank, for example, you could switch to get on a gun that perhaps isn't already manned to take out a spotted enemy. And even if you're in a plane, you can switch gunner seats if you need to, which can be useful if you're on your own and there's a plane chasing you. Remember as well that in Battlefield 1, where you enter the vehicle determines what position you get into it. So if you get into the Jeep at the back, you'll hop onto the gun even if you're the only one in the vehicle. And this kind of works in a similar way for exiting vehicles as well. Look in the direction you want to exit before you press the key, and you can easily exit a vehicle more accurately and get yourself into cover. Remember that in Battlefield 1 you can self-repair your vehicle too, assuming that you spawned in as a driver. But when you do this, you're going to be vulnerable as you can't shoot or move because that's going to cancel the repair. Also, if you take any damage, that's also going to cancel the repair. However, some variants of vehicles like the Howitzer light tank, for example, have an emergency repair on a cooldown. If you get into a jam, you can pop it and it will give you around 30 health increase. Not enough to fully heal you, but sometimes enough to get you out of a serious problem. And whilst we're on the topic of the Howitzer tank, I have to say that it's my favourite tank package overall. There are several packages in the game, each with their own unique weapons and playstyles. I love the Howitzer tank personally because I think it's super powerful against infantry, and it can put out some serious damage to other vehicles if you're an accurate shot. Keep in mind though that the turret doesn't turn 360 degrees on this one, so you need to be extra careful about infantry sneaking up on you. And of course, in the other tanks, when you're playing in the Mark V or the heavy tank, communication is key because your most powerful weapons are manned by your teammates. As for planes, well, practice makes perfect. They are hard to get used to, and I definitely recommend finding an empty server to join and just fly around for a bit. Get used to the controls and different packages on offer. Also, on PC, binding a key on the keyboard to pitch up can be quite useful. Once you've got the basics down, join a game and pick your targets carefully. Sometimes backing off and repairing is definitely the best course of action. Ending on a final note, don't underestimate the power of the horses and cavalry class. Technically a vehicle. Horses can be devastating with their sword and light anti-tank grenades. Also, pro tip, you can now switch what side you're using your saber on when riding a horse. Pressing the camera button will change your camera angle on a horse, meaning you'll now swipe from whichever side you're set to. A nice little addition and definitely worth knowing. And that's all for today guys, I hope you enjoyed these vehicle tips. If you want to see more, come over to youtube.com/jackfrags and subscribe. Thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.